Hello, I've got your energy stories for the first week of July 2022. In the first one, Rhode Island Governor Dan McKee just signed legislation making it the first state in the U.S. to require 100% renewable energy within the next 10 years. To put that in context, other states like California and Hawaii are looking at 2045. In this case, all electricity will have to be generated from renewable sources or otherwise offset through credits or payments made by utility companies. It seems pretty clear this won't be an hour-for-hour match and thus will require purchase of offsets, which lately have become increasingly pricey. There are far more corporate commitments to decarbonize today than renewable credits to meet stated goals, and this will add to that pressure. That should help developers step up their game and build more projects. The goal is laudable, but the path to get there will be tough. On the other coast, last week the California Public Utilities Commission helped ease the path for distributed energy resources by simplifying the interconnection process and creating more transparency for DER aggregators. The Commission indicated that review of projects will be based on a model of grid conditions across different locations, known as hosting capacity analysis. It also did away with size limits affecting projects eligible for expedited review, so now all projects will be treated the same. DER developers have been seeking better hosting capacity info in multiple markets for years, as it lets them more efficiently target the best locations for DER projects, where sufficient capacity exists so no additional grid infrastructure investments are required. Now we'll see whether other state utilities commissions will adopt similar approaches. In China, Contemporary Amperex Technologies, or CATL, the world's largest battery company, last week offered more details regarding its third-gen battery tech, which it calls Qilin. Qilin has an energy density of 255 watt-hours per kilogram with current tech lithium-ion cells and 160 watt-hours per kg for lithium iron phosphate. The thing that's different here is the technology is built around a layered and expandable thermal management and housing sandwich type of a structure. The thermal management designs include water cooling element and channels between cells, with 4 times the heat transfer relative to the prior version. So what? The so what is a quicker thermal response for starts in cold weather and 10-minute fast DC charging. CATL also says the new cooling architecture offers compatibility with, quote, materials with higher energy density, unquote. In other words, CATL's not done. Keep an eye out for future better battery chemistries. And sticking with batteries, Norwegian company FREYR announced it will build its first battery cell factory, Giga Arctic, in Rana, Norway, with production by Q2 of 2024. Annual capacity will reach 29 gigawatt hours when it's fully built out. The plant is said to require about 50% less investment per gigawatt hour of capacity owing to a high level of automation. And FREYR uses Massachusetts-based 24M technology semi-solid battery technology, which simplifies the battery making process. Staying in the Nordics and sticking with electromobility, Swedish firm Candela announced the design of its 30-passenger P12 hydrofoil shuttle scheduled for tests in Stockholm next year. This 39-foot vessel has a top speed of 30 knots and uses only 0.1 kilowatt hour of electricity per passenger kilometer. The city of Stockholm will support tests over 9 months beginning next year, running between the suburb of Eckerö and the city center. The P12 shuttle's extraordinary efficiency is enabled by the 3 carbon fiber wings that lift up the fuselage above the water, reducing the hull's water resistance. In other words, Swedes will be commuting on an electrified version of the America's Cup vessels. Staying in Europe, a consortium of steel buyers, hydrogen developers, and an EU-funded innovation hub have joined forces to invest about $2.3 billion into one of Europe's largest electrolyzer projects to support production of hydrogen-derived direct reduced iron for green steel manufacture. The Gravity consortium looks to build its initial DRI plant in southern France by 2027, yielding an annual 2 million tons per year of carbon-free iron for use in the green steel. Finally, back here at home last week, Ford issued a recall of 2,886 electric F-150 Lightnings. This was owing to a problem with the vehicle's tire pressure monitoring system, which may be set to the wrong value of 35 psi rather than the 42 psi it needs. Ford says that it can be fixed immediately at dealerships in about 20 minutes with an in-person update of software, or in about a month it can make that update part of a forthcoming over-the-air software update. Well, that's all for this week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next week.